for less.
Time check, brought to you by BioStrath Immune with added zinc. Distributed by H&J Enterprises Limited.
Four bandits shot dead as police respond to a home invasion in Cunupia. 2 suspects still at large. Parliament clash sparks opposition walkout as government brands them a brotherhood of wrongdoers. Color, rhythm and revelry take over Point Fortin, Borough D.
And in sport, Dylan Carter makes a splash with bronze in a thrilling 50-meter butterfly showdown at Fort Lauderdale Open.
Good evening and welcome. I'm Doris Polo and this is the weekend news here on CNC3. Thanks for joining us. In our top story this evening, residents in Cunupia woke up to hours of police gunfire and heavy patrols after a violent home invasion early this morning. Officers say 8 bandits stormed a farmer's house, sparking a massive manhunt that ended in a deadly shootout. 4 suspects were killed and the search for 2 others continues. Shane Superville has more on the crackdown and the fear gripping the community.
Gunfire disrupted the usually quiet farmland and rural communities of Esmeralda Road, Cunupia. For hours, there were intense police dragnets as a combined team of police and soldiers searched fields and streets for suspects after a home invasion early on Saturday morning. Police said the drama unfolded at around 3:30 a.m. when a farmer was robbed at his Cunupia home by 8 bandits who stole over $1,000 in cash. A report was made and officers of the Central Division, the home invasion team and the regiment were mobilized. The bandits were chased to Ramnarine Trace off Esmeralda Road where the shootout ensued. 4 suspects were killed while 2 others were arrested. When CNC3 News visited the area on Saturday, farmers said they were pleased with the police response, noting that they have been under siege for months as criminals have been cutting through fences and barbed wire around their fields to access farmland.
Right now I'm standing on a small access road off Ramnarine Trace, Cunupia. Now based on what we've been hearing from several persons in the area, bandits are using roads just like these to access their potential targets while escaping law enforcement as easily as they would have arrived in the first place.
The farmers were too afraid to speak on camera, but admitted that they have lived with the fear of violent attacks for months. However, Police Commissioner Alistair Guevara said the incident was a clear example of the consequences awaiting criminals.
Let this stand as a clear message. Once you choose violence against law-abiding citizens, the TTPS will find you, pursue, and stop you. The days of criminals moving with impunity are over.
DCP Operations Suzette Martin was seen outside the Cunupia police station alongside head of the National Operations Center, Johnny Abraham. However, she declined to comment. As the manhunt continued, Cunupia Councillor Richard Sukdeo said while he is pleased with the swift police response, the incident is testament to the dangerous reality many residents face.
The signals it's sending is that crime is coming into Cunupia. And we really have to be very, very careful because you could never tell. People cannot, at this point in time, continue to live as they would normally do.
He also urged the residents to form a neighborhood watch group, noting that the first line of defense begins with the residents themselves. Shane Superville, CNC3 News.
A man who survived a chopping in an altercation last year was killed in Scarborough last night, Tobago's 4th murder of 2026. Police say 37-year-old Sean Parisien of Bacalet was walking through the Market Square car park around 7 p.m. when a gunman approached. Parisien, a father of 2, was shot several times in the chest and died at the scene. Shoppers in the nearby Viewport supermarket were startled. One man said he thought the sounds were fireworks. Relatives told CNC3 News Parisian was originally from Argyle but had been living in Bacalet. They described him as a cool person but noted his involvement in an altercation last November that ended with him being chopped. One man was taken into custody. Relatives looked on in disbelief, saying they knew the person arrested. With continued concerns about crime today, we asked, do you think we have become too desensitized to the issue?
People may become desensitized if they are not faced with it all the time. But otherwise, no, it's too much real prevalent issue, I think, to lose the sensitivity to what's happening.
I don't think it's desensitized. We're not desensitized. We kind of losing faith in the people responsible.
Yeah, to extent the kind of beastly criminal act that taking place is like nobody don't have no respect for humanity again, you know. But it had the same people in between still, the innocent ones, but things is happening that it's unbelievable, it's unbelievable.
Crime come like a normal, like a work now for citizens. Because there are people now that's going and that's killing people. What they are by media, they just kill a guy with a hammer. They call him to the air condition work and they kill him afterwards.
Yes, I believe citizen has become sensitized to crime because it's the norm. It's like the breath we breathe every day, and it's like, you know, people are not getting justice for the things that are happening.
Coming up next, Tobago sees another year of low cruise ships arrivals. We'll have those details and much more after the break.
Recession have you down? Don't lose hope. Head on down to Tire Clinic for the recession deals. That should big savings with our road hazard warranty on Download 2021 Falcon tires. Available at Tire Clinic, Cuba, Chaguanas, and Pleasance Park. Tire Clinic, a tire for every need. Call 636-8973 or 636-2958.
This Mother's Day, give Mom something she'll truly appreciate every single day. Right now at Bright Ideas, we're bringing you massive deals across all locations. TVs from just $9.99. Twin tub washers from $13.99. In the kitchen, fridges from $42.99 and stoves from just $16.99. Coffee makers from $125. Kettles from just $99. Blackout curtains 2 for $100. Towels 4 for $100. Bed sheets from $50. Glass sets as low as $22.99 and much more. Up to 50% off on all the flowers Mom will love. Don't wait till last minute. Come through and save. If it's not on special, it's 25% off. Lighting fixtures, bedding, mats, carpets, dinnerware, tableware, and much more. You're guaranteed to save. Visit any of our Bright Ideas locations nationwide today because Mom deserves more.
Welcome back. A war of words has erupted between government and opposition after a dramatic walkout in Parliament over a motion targeting 2 opposition senators. Now, the Prime Minister has accused the opposition of fleeing accountability and being controlled by what she called elite financiers, while the PNM insists it was forced to walk out of what it described as an unfair and abusive debate. But a political analyst warns that the walkout projected weakness rather than strategy. Here's more.
A brotherhood of wrongdoing, a brotherhood of wrongdoers. Wait, that's the point. Let's go with.
It was this moment that triggered the opposition's walkout, but the confrontation had been building.
You do not need to respect me, but you need to respect this honorable house.
At the center, a motion to adopt a report from the Public Administration and Appropriations Committee examining the conduct of a member. That motion was later amended to condemn Senators Faris Al-Rawi and Janelle John Bates and to call on the opposition leader to revoke their appointments. Land and Legal Affairs Minister Saddam Hussein described it as unlawful, contemptuous conduct. He pointed to edits made to a witness statement for former Health Minister Terence Dialsing, saying John Bates made 37 changes in minutes, while Al-Rawi, who has said he is Dialsing's lawyer, made more than 170 over 2 days.
The evidence is clear. It could never be a mistake. It is a deliberate design to deceive the Parliament. Deliberate design to deceive the Parliament. And yet Arima cannot break her silence.
Government ministers signaled they will not back down.
And I'm beyond annoyed, you understand, to sit with Senator John Bates and Alwari. As a matter of fact, I'm going to do just what they did in the Committee for National Security, the Joint Select, because Senator Alwari is on the Energy Committee. Yes. And should he show up, we're going to show him the door. He's going to go. He has to go. We are not going to sit with him.
And the matter may go further.
We must very well call on the Commissioner of Police to determine whether or not this is a matter of misbehavior in public office.
The opposition, however, while acknowledging concerns, says the process was flawed.
That, Madam Speaker, we all on this side agree was ill-advised. Madam Speaker, that we all on this side agree created the impression of partiality, and it ought never to have occurred.
She called for a more measured approach and pointed to what she described as breaches on the government side.
Somebody breached the standing orders of the Parliament by revealing what took place in camera. And that was also contempt that has not been brought to light.
Outside the chamber, the political fallout intensified. The Prime Minister, in a social media post, accused the opposition leader of refusing to act and being influenced by what she described as fake elite financiers. In response, the PNM said it walked out of what it called a deliberate and coordinated abuse of parliamentary procedure, insisting it would not participate in what it described as a charade. But a political analyst says the opposition ought to have remained in the House and battled it out. Dr. Shane Mohammed also accused the opposition leader of projecting weakness.
You're making track for Guti to run. They say you're weak, you're showing them that you're weak, not strategic.
The motion was passed with all members present voting in favour. Attempts to reach the opposition leader and chief whip for comment were unsuccessful.
One government minister is warning that Republic Bank's new fees could hit working-class families the hardest. Speaking to CNC3 News at the TTMA Mother's Day pop-up shop today, Housing Minister Dr. David Lee said even keeping a basic account now comes at a cost, and that higher banking charges risk putting added strain on households. The increases took effect yesterday as part of what Republic Bank calls a review of its products and services. But the move has drawn sharp criticism from business leaders who argue the timing is troubling. They say the banking sector has reported strong profits, while small businesses and customers continue to face economic pressure.
Traditional banks used to rely on the spread between loans and the interest they charge on fixed deposits and so forth. Now, their biggest revenue is from bank fees, and that is something that I have a concern about as an individual. And I will be asking, I will liaise with the Minister of Finance and see how best that we can come up with some sort of solution.
Meanwhile, CEO of the Trinidad and Tobago Manufacturers Association, Dr. Ramesh Ramdeen, warns that small and medium-sized enterprises could feel the sharpest impact.
They are the ones who have cash flow problems. They are the ones who have to go to the bank to get loans to see them through on a month-to-month basis, sometimes short-term period to cover their expenses. So it is a challenge for them. Hopefully, those in authority will have conversations and good sense will prevail. I'm optimistic that good sense will prevail.
Several SME vendors at the pop-up shop confirmed that they are Republic Bank customers, and the increased fees came as a shock. But they intend to weather the storm and not pass it on to consumers. Efforts to contact Finance Minister Dave Tanku were unsuccessful up to news time. Shifting gears, Tobago has seen a drop in cruise ship arrivals for the second straight year. The Marella Explorer made the island's final call on April 10th, its 10th visit for the season. The tourism division says the island recorded 32 calls in 2025 to 2026, bringing in over 37,000 passengers. Of those, just over 10,800 joined tours, with Pigeon Point and Buko Reef topping the list. But stakeholders are worried, as just 2 years ago, Tobago welcomed 64 calls and nearly 100,000 visitors. PNM Tobago Council leader and former Tourism Minister Shamfa Kojo says cruise lines are tightening schedules. Therefore, Tobago must stay competitive.
We have some extra taxes that other countries don't have. So, for instance, when you're getting off the cruise ship, there is I think a 5% departure tax. But Trinidad and Tobago, I think, is the only Caribbean island that adds an additional $1.50 US or $2 US for the operators when you're going to do a tour. You know, so these are little things that contribute to the whole issue of pricing and in being competitive.
Tobago Hotel and Tourism Association head Reginald McLean blamed inadequate marketing for the dip. Tourism Secretary Zorisha Hackett could not be reached for comment. The price of a ticket to visit the Buko Reef may soon be higher than a one-way ticket on the air bridge. That's the warning from CEO of Green Tobago Tours, Leroy George, who condemned the revised Tobago Marine Park bill. The legislation was passed unanimously in the Assembly on April 22nd and is expected to be debated in Parliament soon. Operators currently charge $150 for a reef tour, which also includes a trip to No Man's Land and the Nyland Pool. That cost, he reveals, could go up to $200.
If boats find themselves having to park outside of that entire area, at some point anchors will loose, something will go wrong, they will end up in the open seas and the boats will be destroyed. We know this from experience. As a matter of fact, the original Cool Runnings boat was anchored outside of Storby and it would have loosened itself from its anchor, hit the open seas and was completely destroyed.
George said the Bonaccord Lagoon is too small to accommodate all the boats and is very deep in some areas. The Tobago Jazz Music and Golf Weekend is being hailed as a big win for sport and entertainment tourism. At the beachfront show at Magdalena in Lowlands, promoter Kerry Roach says the event is gaining momentum. Scores of international visitors and diaspora members turned out for the food, drinks, and of course, the jazz. Roach says with the Tobago Festivals Commission on board, the future looks bright.
We will be focusing on every year on Tobago talent, Trinidad and Tobago talent, Caribbean talent, and also international jazz or cool jazz artists. So that is our formula, and we'll stick to it.
The weekend wraps up tomorrow with Fairways Jazz Under the Stars. Let's tell you what's still to come in sport. Police Sports deliver a commanding performance to secure a convincing victory over Alaskan Comets in the TTCB 50 overs final.
Dress like you mean business. At The Working Woman, we bring you stylish, professional looks made for the modern woman. From casual to formal workwear, we've got your professional wardrobe covered.
Super month-end savings is here only at Bassar's The Food King. Stock up and save more on halal bone goat. 3 pounds, only $100. Crown parboiled rice, 8 kilograms, now only $68.99. Pork stew, just $20 per pound. Fresh harvest peas and carrots, 4 tins for just $20. Swiss pasta cuts, 300 grams, 4 packs, now $20. Clean and white bleach, 3.78 liters, only $31.99. Plus more savings in store. Sale ends May 10th or while stocks last.
Quality value, that's our way. A real Bushlights, we're here to stay. The Food King Bushlights.
Welcome back. Splashing off tonight's sport action, Trinidad and Tobago's Dylan Carter delivered another strong performance on the international stage, capturing bronze in the men's 50-meter butterfly at the 2026 Speedo Fort Lauderdale Open last night. Rajiv Surat Singh has more.
Competing for Azuri Florida Aquatics at the Fort Lauderdale Aquatic Center, Carter clocked 23.54 seconds in the final, just narrowly outside his morning swim of 23.49. The event was won by Canada's Ilya Karoun in 22.96, while American star Caleb Dressel claimed silver in 23.48. Carter had earlier signaled his intent in the heats, posting the second fastest time behind Karoun. His podium finish places him among elite company in a highly competitive field that included several of the world's top sprinters. The Trinidad and Tobago contingent also saw action across multiple events during the meet as they continue preparations for the upcoming Central American and Caribbean Games in Santo Domingo this July. Young prospect Liam Carrington showed promise with a sixth-place finish in the men's 50-meter backstroke A final in 26.22 seconds. He also placed sixth in the 100-meter freestyle B final and advanced to the B final of the 50-meter freestyle. Meanwhile, Olympian Zuri Ferguson had mixed results. She placed 18th in the women's 200-meter backstroke heats, but opted out of the C final. The performances in Fort Lauderdale form part of the national swimmers' build-up to the CAC Games. Rajiv Surat Singh, CNC3 Sport.
To cricket now, Presentation College San Fernando are once again Intercol champions, edging rivals Presentation College Shogunas by 9 runs in a thrilling T20 final of the Brian Lara Cricket Academy in Tarouba. Batting first after winning the toss, San Fernando posted 134 for 8 from their 20 overs. Levi Ghani led the charge with a composed 43, while Brendan Boodoo added 22. However, a late collapse saw them lose key wickets in quick succession. In reply, Shagona stumbled early, losing 2 quick wickets to slip to 14 for 2. Jerome and Ramanan then rebuilt with a crucial 54-run partnership, but just as the chase gained momentum, wickets at key moments stalled their progress. Shogunas finished on 125 for 8, falling just short, as San Fernando sealed a memorable victory to complete the season double. Staying with cricket, Police Sports delivered a commanding all-round performance to secure a convincing victory over Alaskan Comets in the TTC B50 overs final. Here's more.
After being sent into bat, Alaskan Comets never really found their footing and were bowled out for 117 in 29 overs. Early setbacks put them on the back foot, with Lendl Simmons, Darius Batu Singh and Virendra Maraj all falling cheaply inside the power play. Keegan Simmons tried to steady the innings with a patient 27, while Dinesh Ramdin added 17 in a brief partnership. Just as the Comets looked to rebuild, wickets continued to tumble at regular intervals. Kisundath Magram contributed 17, but it was Alex Antoine's late knock of 25 that helped push the total into 3 figures. Still, the score proved below par on a decent batting surface. In response, Police Sports approached the chase with confidence and control. Brian Christmas anchored the innings superbly with an unbeaten 63 off 6-day balls, striking 8 fours and 2 sixes to guide his team home. Musa Ali provided solid support with a brisk 28, helping to build a strong opening partnership. Although 2 wickets fell along the way, there was no real scare for Police. Christmas remained composed at the crease, seeing his team to 118 for 2 in just 19 overs, sealing a comfortable win with plenty of time to spare. Rajiv Surat Singh, CNC3 Sport.
To football now, Victor Gyökeres scored twice as Arsenal delivered a major Premier League title statement with a commanding 3-0 win over Fulham at the Emirates Stadium today. And although the visitors created a few second-half chances, the Gunners managed the game comfortably to secure all 3 points. With just a few matches remaining, Arsenal continue their push for a first league title in over 2 decades. It's time now for a break. We'll be right back.
Parents will do it. They'll go to work, have a day, bro, and come on and take that stress out on you.
Welcome to another episode of Manhood.
Everybody will do what they need to do to get what they want.
And if they can't fit in to the norms, then what they have to do, they'll survive.
Not everybody wants to kill me because I might be all kind of thing, but I think I'm a good person.
The aspect of a mentor seeing something in you that you can't see in yourself.
Check yourself, because you shaped that generation.
are we losing in many ways the values?
Since I have this Parkinson's diagnosis, there's a group, a very small type group, who will always look after me.
Welcome back. Guyana's government says it's taking economic empowerment to the next level with plans to let workers invest directly in major national projects. President Dr. Irfan Ali made the announcement during his Labor Day address at State House yesterday. He said new systems will give ordinary Guyanese a chance to own a stake in transformative industries, especially those tied to the country's growing energy and industrial base. Dr. Ali stressed empowerment must go beyond wages and cash grants. He said this approach allows citizens not only to earn incomes, but also to build assets and share in the returns of national development. Antigua and Barbuda Prime Minister Gaston Brown has been sworn in for a fourth consecutive term just hours after leading his Labour Party to victory in the April 30th general election. Brown took the oath of office Friday before Governor General Sir Rodney Williams alongside the other victorious ABLP candidates. The Electoral Commission says the ABLP won 15 of 17 seats, while the United Progressive Party and the Barbuda People's Movement each secured 1. Turnout was just over 62%. Brown says cabinet members will be named on Tuesday. Returning to news at home, music and mass filled the streets of Point Fortin at daybreak, as thousands turned out for Juvé celebrations. But even as revelers danced, some used the moment to send a strong political message, calling for long overdue retroactive pay. Radhika De Silva and Rishi Raghunath tell us more.
Point Fortin Carnival spirit was out long before sunrise on Saturday. By early morning, the streets were already packed with revelers ready to chip, dance and celebrate. Bands rolled through the borough, bringing music, movement and plenty of color. Country Bookie made a bold statement on the road with its presentation Rose. Just Illusions followed with Kaleidoscope, mixing bright costumes, flags and high-energy performances. Moko Jumbies towered above the crowd, gliding through the celebration as spectators looked on. And throughout it all, soca trucks kept the energy moving. But amid the celebration, one group used the moment to send a message. A Jab Jab band dressed in black with red boots called for back pay as they moved through the streets.
My presentation is based on, getting our back pay. I'm begging the government, I'm speaking on all the public servants, all my workers, please, Mr. Minister, we need to get we back pay, right? We're working hard, and we just out of money.
For many others, though, the focus stayed on enjoying the day.
I had a terrific time. We are the biggest band for 2026 in Point Fortin, and I had a terrific time.
Mayor Clyde James says so far, celebrations have been safe and orderly.
We have a very energetic crowd here. But the street of Point Fortin is filled up with masqueraders, and we're having a wonderful time. I must say, the people came out and they are enjoying themselves.
With Pan on the move and a street parade still to come, Point Fortin is again showing why its carnival remains a crowd favorite. Radhika De Silva, CNC3 News.
And now for tomorrow's weather forecast. The Met Office says hot, sunny and at times breezy conditions will be interrupted by brief isolated showers during the morning to evening period. Tomorrow's maximum forecast temperature in Trinidad is 33 degrees and 32 in Tobago. Seas are moderate with waves reaching from 1.5 meters to 2 in open waters and near 1 meter in sheltered areas. Thank you so much for spending part of your weekend with us here at CNC3 News. Have a great evening and we'll see you tomorrow.